What if I tell you that you're a fool? Oh yes, you heard me, a fool. You'd probably tell me to get lost, take a long walk off a short pier. And for good reason. Nobody wants to be told that they're lacking in judgment or reason. Because what is a fool? Just saying the word out loud conjures up images of a court jester dressed in phantasmical, outlandish clothes and with clown-like face paint. But not all fools are clowns. And today, I ask you to purge yourselves of this pejorative notion of the fool. Why? Because I'm proud to call myself one of the biggest fools in existence. In one of his lectures, Jordan Peterson, best-selling author and clinical psychologist, said, "The willingness to be the fool is the precursor to transformation." I came to this realization in 2022, my banner year of loss and bereavement. That year, I lost my high school best friend, a distant cousin, and my beloved aunt. One of my half-cousins also went missing for 3 weeks after being subject to police brutality. I quit 2 jobs, and I ended a 2-year relationship. All of these happened in a crushing heartbeat. 5 months to be exact. It was too much too soon. But little did I know that I was on the fool's journey, a story contained within the tarot cards which describe the different stages through life. This journey starts with card 0, the Fool, which depicts a young man who is naive, spontaneous, and ready for adventure. It ends with card 21, the World, which symbolizes the Fool's completion of his journey as he achieves happiness and fulfillment. But let's slow it down a bit. What is tarot? Tarot is not about fortune telling. Tarot is a medium of spirituality that uses cards to explore life's challenges and opportunities. Each card holds unique meanings and provide clarity and insight about ourselves and the world around us. But why tarot? As humans, we all go through the different seasons of life. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. But we all started somewhere. And whether you're blessed with privilege or less than ideal resources at your so-called starting point, the Fool teaches us to view our circumstances a little less negatively. Because starting anew should make us feel young, happy, and maybe a little bit reckless. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, transfixed by the sun and stars above you with little thought of falling into the Pasig River. And the distant Mount Makiling, it's nothing compared to the freedom and rush of the unknown. I obviously did not feel this way when I was faced with the massive death and loss. Instead, I felt crippled, paralyzed. It took a while before I could see the beauty of a new dawn. Allow me to tell that story with some of the tarot cards. Because we don't know much about the Fool or how he arrived on the edge of this cliff, but I think his story closely resembles mine and maybe some of yours. For me, it felt like trudging through a forest with the leaves and the branches arched overhead, blocking out the sunlight. In this mystical forest, I meet the magician, one of the characters the fool meets on his travels. This magician peeps at me from behind one of the trees. She looks exactly the way I did when I was 5 years old. She has a crooked smile on her face. She's holding up a scribbled diary page and tells me she wants to be the greatest writer who ever lived. I smile. But before I can get a word out, she's gone. I'm confused. What is this place? And so, a little more cautiously than before, I keep walking. Slowly, I feel my feet sink into the soggy mud, as if it would pull me down, down into oblivion. But before I can look down at my feet to check, another character stops me in my tracks, pulling up in a runaway carriage. It's the chariot. This chariot has the same face I did when I was 21 years old, a rising star, an ambitious writer. Her eyes are sparkling with wide-eyed optimism. Taken by her presence, I reach out, begging her to save me. But like the magician, she disappears. Frantic, I feel my breath hitch. The realization that I might be stuck in these woods forever starts to creep in. The vines snake their way around my ankles, holding me hostage. I can't move. Just when I think I'd never break free, there's a flash of light. I see the star. This version of me is dazzling and charismatic. The way I was when I was 24 years old, on stage, giving my first spoken word poetry piece. I hear the sound of applause. But as quickly as the star appears, she vanishes into thin air, like 5 minutes of fame. I'm alone in the forest again, and the ivy wraps around my torso and neck. I feel my body grow numb, and slowly I sink into the cold, dark earth. Before my eyes shut for one last time, I see the sun. She kneels before me, and I recognize myself from when I was 29 years old. Gently, she whispers, "Didn't you say you'd give a TED Talk if it's the last thing you do? That the audience would rise up from the stands and give you a standing ovation. What happened to that?" I blink for one hot second, and like the others, she disappears. I scream out. I can't give up on life. Not after the series of misfortune and deaths. Not like this. And so with all the strength I can muster, I pull myself up from the soil and dirt and run as fast as my feet can carry me onward and forward. The air buzzes through my ears. Everything's a blur. And just when I think my legs would give in, there's a flash of light that's blinding like gunfire. I'm at a clearing on the edge of a cliff. I am the fool. Somewhere nearby, I hear the faint sound of a dog barking, telling me to stop, watch my step. I had just made it out of the darkness. So why should I risk falling again? But like the fool, I had embraced a new start. This courage marked my awakening and the start of my journey into tarot and spirituality. It took a while for me to realize that I had been chasing the fool within me all my life. Because the fool and I were the same. And how couldn't we be? We shared the first letters of our names, Fiona, Fool. I was so inspired that I went on to establish my own spirituality and wellness startup, Fool's Gnosis. This allowed me to connect with other people and provide intuitive tarot readings focused on self-discovery and empowerment. Whenever I give a tarot reading, I always strive to impart a simple truth. Our greatest achievements will always unfold on the edge of the unknown. Like a fool, we must embrace the uncertainty. We never know what opportunities could arise from times of hardship and adversity. So if you're sitting there today carrying fear, shame, trauma, sadness, failure, or disappointment, please know that it doesn't define you. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, what lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. Remember that you are a fool in your own right. Embrace that inner recklessness and fire. It could save your life, as it did mine. So let me ask you again. What if I tell you that you're a fool? Perhaps you can find comfort in the fact that we're all fools, and we're all simply trying to find meaning in our lives. Thank you.